a Disney cartoon. Not a Mickey Mouse cartoon this time, though.
The inaugural Silly Symphony,
Indeed.
which
And
is called Skeleton Dance.
Skeleton Dance. What a picture.
How often do we say "what a picture"?
I think every episode, but it applies here because Skeleton Dance is great. I love it.
It's really good. Yeah.
It is what it sounds like. It's a bunch of skeletons dancing.
Have you seen this before?
I have not. I'd seen like probably clips of it and like images from it for sure, but I'd never just like sat and watched all several minutes of it. Um and it's just spooky fun.
Yeah, very
What's not to like?
Halloweeny. Um, it's got kind of a darker aesthetic than most Disney
Hmm.
stuff, but also it's like fun, kid friendly dark
Yeah.
aesthetic. You
It's
know.
spooky fun. It's gravestones and bats and
Yeah,
clouds and skeletons
and
taking
owls and black.
taking
Yeah,
each other's bones and playing their spines like a xylophone.
iconic.
Things that skeletons do.
This really could be called like things that skeletons do. It's the
Yeah.
first in the it's the first in the Pixar model of what do things get up to when we're not looking at
Right.
them.
It was the night the skeletons came to life.
Oh my god. uh there's no plot in this really. It's just it becomes a
Yeah.
dark and spooky night and the skeletons come out of the ground and then they just start having a jaunty fun time.
Yeah.
Jumping around and dancing and playing music, and then it becomes daytime, and they're like, "Oh, dang, got to get back in the ground."
It definitely feels like it was made to kind of showcase sync sound, which it was.
Right. Well, yeah. Being a silly symphony, it's this
Hmm.
series is specifically like let's do sound cartoons,
Yeah.
which not all of Mickey Mouse was up until this point. Although all the silent Mickey Mouse cartoons were converted to sound, so I think everything from Steamboat Willie on that Disney released was sound. Some kind of interesting stuff that happened to this movie. I will say that there's a lot more squashy and stretchy stuff going on than any
Mm.
other Disney stuff we've seen so far. When the owl hoots, its whole body uh, kind of bows and expands and contracts, and they do some relatively complex animation with the skeleton spinning around and kind of
Hmm.
moving closer to the camera that like very drastically changes the perspective.
Yeah.
Stuff that isn't just moving things around as much as like actually kind of drawing perspective changes, which is more
Yeah. Like
complex.
the thing with the skeleton like coming towards the camera, like its face getting bigger,
Yeah.
is it's like it's really simplified. It's a really simplified skull when it's far away, but it like the animation actually the drawing gets more complex as it gets closer to the camera.
Hmm.
Um in quotes, if you're listening to the podcast, it's not a real camera because it's animated. But I thought that was a cool kind of thing where it's like the actual complexity of the drawing increases as you kind of the eye gets closer to it.
Yeah, yeah. This was also like many of early Disney movies or cartoon shorts was chiefly animated by Iwerks,
Hmm.
and I was noticing at the beginning of this movie. This might have been the case with Steamboat Willie as well. I'm not sure, but it said that it was a Cinephone production. So Cinephone was a knockoff of Phonofilm.
Okay.
There's a guy named Pat Powers who made this company that distributed Disney movies up until 2930,
Hmm.
and he was also someone who used to be kind of involved with Lee DeForest Company. He hired a technician from Lee DeForest Company, and then made a knockoff of Phonofilm, and so he distributed Disney's movies, and then was responsible for the sound on film technology of these early Disney films. And Iwerks was also kind of getting a little frustrated with working with Walt Disney at this point, and so pretty soon after this was made, he jumped ship to make his own film studio under Pat Powers. He kind of poached him from Disney because Disney didn't treat him with a lot of respect, it seems like. Which checks out.
Another fun fact about this movie that I read is that it was, at least initially, banned in Denmark for being, quote, too macabre.
Was that a Danish accent?
No, that was sort of a Bill Hader as Vincent Price accent. But, yeah, Denmark thought it was too macabre.
There are some other Disney cartoons that from this year that we didn't watch for the podcast, but are similarly macabre, like Hell's Bells, which is about Satan in hell. It's another silly symphony, but it's not on Disney Plus, unlike this one, because it's too it's a little too macabre.
Oh wow, too macabre for Disney Plus.
I know, just like Free Solo. Yeah, I guess one other thing they'll say about this movie is that like they have a lot of fun, inventive ways that they kind of use the bones for like visual gags. Like there's a part where all four skeletons kind of crash into each other and then turn into like an 8-legged monstrosity of bones. But then, yeah, like using them as mallets to play xylophones, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. Everyone knows that when you play a skeleton, when you play a rib cage or a spine of a skeleton, it sounds like a xylophone.